G'day everyone, so in the last video, we got the NSR out, got all the stuff unpacked, we had a quick go of it, it does run but not very well. So in this video, going to get it all set up, running properly, and I think Sean's going to get his running properly in the background as well. So last night, pretty much just put the brake pads back in and I put a battery in the water temp gauge and they all started working. So the water temp gauge takes like a little watch battery, it's working now. Brakes feel alright, I think the back one needs to be bled maybe, but they're all good. It does run rough, so we'll start with taking the fairings and the tank off, drain the fuel, put 98 in it, because we put 95 in it because that's all the servo has. And I'll probably go to the shops, get a new spark plug, and then see if that helps it run a bit nicer. Okay, so it turns out the reason we're struggling to get the seat off so much is it has the factory latch, but you gotta like stick your finger down inside there to press it to get it off. But that's nice that I can remove that without having to undo all the screws I thought I'd undo. And turns out there was a battery under here. So when I lifted the cushion off, the battery normally goes here on these, I'm pretty sure, and it wasn't there. So I thought someone had done a battery delete, which is something they did on these to make them lighter. But it turns out it does have a battery. It wasn't, it just floats around under there with nothing attached to it. And it looks like they've used the car stereo to wire this bike, because these are labelled as from amp and to speaker, and then the indicators and stuff are wired in with like speaker wire, so that's good. But I guess we'll try and get a battery. I'll pull the spark plug out, see what like version it is, and then we'll go get a spark plug for it. Whoa, it's a lot of oil. It's a lot of oil on the plug. So I noticed last night that the bike would sort of take off nicely once you got it onto full throttle, but it'd run really shit down low. And the throttle is stiff, and then after you use it, it loosens up, and then after a while it goes stiff again. And what I realised is down here, there's this little cam wheel, and this opens and closes for the oil injection. So you can see when I turn the throttle, that wheel turns, and when I let go of the throttle, it doesn't go back, because the wheel is actually hitting the carb. So we'll pull the carb off, but worse than that, I've just noticed the intake manifold boot might be cracked, so we'll definitely pull the carb off, check that boot, see if it's cracked. I think we'll rotate the carb a little bit to get it away from that throttle, the oil pump wheel. So I drained my fuel into that jerry can. Meanwhile, over on Team Shit Scooter. You want a beer, mate? How many cans you got of fuel? How much fuel did you put in it?
I don't know, a bunch. Enough to prove concept. I'm pretty sure it's full.
Blow it up.
Contaminated 95. I actually have more fuel capacity than the post device.
Alright, so I just got this off. That crack thankfully is not a crack. It is like a split in the outside. When you flip this over, it's actually like super thick and solid on the inside, so that's just like part of where it was molded. It's not leaking, which is nice. So this looks good, the reeds look good. I'll seal this back up, put it back on. I also discovered that the choke does have the carb does have a choke. We weren't sure, and you can't really see it from outside. Now that I know where it is, I should be able to reach in and grab it. But the choke being on, I think was on, is probably part of why it wasn't riding very well. There is writing in here that might tell you about the choke, but none of it's in English, so I don't know. Just got back from the shops, got a new spark plug, and then we're ready to test ride it again. See if it runs smoother now that I've worked out it has a choke and a new plug, and the oil's not getting stuck at full oil. Definitely putting a Wingnut on this.
Yeah.
What was that for?
I put a video of Sean crashing the POC bike on TikTok, and it got taken down for dangerous acts and bodily harm or something. Oh, you weren't even recording?
No.
Someone guided in.
He's gonna put in the hole. I'll help you get your tip in.
Oh yeah! Fill me up, Daddy! We actually got the right fuel this time, 98. Should go get my GoPro for like a driver's view, but I don't think it'll work.
I reckon that'll be enough. You'll fill it.
I mean, not full, there's no reason not to. It's the right fuel, and I don't have autism, so I figured out I can turn the fuel tank off to take the tank off. Don't have to battle with the fuel pissing out of it while I'm trying to remove it. That's like above the center rib thing, isn't it? Yeah, it is. Cool. Indestructible. Alright, now the choke, that's off, that's on. Choke on. And then that's on, not reserve. Definitely useful.
It'll take a bit to fill.
Yeah, it'll go fill the bowl up. That's good.
No.
Let it warm up for a bit first. Whoops. It's not going to warm up if it's not on. Right, Sean's having a go. It sounds cool.
That's sick. That's sick.
Ah, taxi!
I'm trying to see where the engagement point is.
It's before there.
See, that was the one thing I was looking for.
The rear brake doesn't lock up.
Yeah, the rear brake's not very good. Go practice that on your own bike.
Okay.
Go practice that on your own bike.
Too big.
Ages go.
It feels funny to sit on. I'm like,
it's pretty good.
yeah. Does the clutch slip a little bit?
I don't think so.
Okay. Must be,
The bite is like right at the end of the travel on
yeah,
it.
must not be letting go enough.
I didn't see how quick I was going.
Steve's go. Oh yeah, I can actually see the speedo now, so I can see what I was doing down the driveway. Steve, you look super American even with the hat on backwards.
Because I'm a good old boy. Hold on, where is that?
So that video is a little bit all over the place. Good news is, as you saw in that video, the bike's all running good, and I took it to its first rego inspection, and it passed. So it has a few little things I have to change, which is fine, but from an imported point of view, it passed all that sort of stuff, which means it's legal in Australia, and they've given me my VIN to put on it and everything. So that means the stuff that I could have had trouble with, which was, is it allowed to be ridden on the road, all that, it's all passed. And one of the things I had to fix when I was doing that was the battery wasn't charging properly. When I pulled the stator off, I also found out that the bike has an aftermarket flywheel and it's got a 63cc big bore kit on it. So when I bought it, as far as I knew, it was stock, and now it turns out it's actually got, I had the carb off in this video, I sent some photos of it to people and they're like, that's not a stock carbs. That's why the choke was all the way underneath the tank and I couldn't find it. So it turns out it's got a big carb, it's got an aftermarket reed cage, it's got an expansion chamber, it's got 63cc big bore kit, and it's got a lightweight flywheel on it. So that's pretty cool that it's got a few mods and stuff that I didn't know about. But other than that, sorry no video next week. I got the, sorry about the no video last week. I've got the spicy cough that's not that spicy. But yeah, so see everyone in the next video. Hopefully I get this thing out on the road with rego on it and we'll do like a good review video of it, take it for a ride, show you how fast 63cc's worth of fury is. And other than that, Really want to get working on my drift car. I've got this car which I need to sell soon. That'll be up for sale at some point, and then I can bring the drift car over here. And I've got this car that I'm working on now, and then there's more cars over there that's getting worked on. And yeah, there's a lot of stuff, a lot of stuff on at the moment. But make sure you're subscribed. I'm getting close to 10,000. I think we're almost 8,000 subscribers, which is cool. But yeah, let me know how you thought of the video, what you thought of the video, and I'm still talking. Stop talking. Goodbye. That's the end of the video. Bye.